The history of a home or complex is something that we tend to turn a blind eye to. We never really bother in researching, and most of the time it isn't necessary. People move in and they live a peaceful life. But then there is that slim chance that their stay won't be so pleasant. User the Ebola Queen found herself in an unexplainable situation in her apartment complex. It was so bewildering that not even the police knew how to explain what was going on. This all started when, all of a sudden, she began to hear noises coming from a neighboring apartment. Imagine living on your own, and one night you hear what seems to be a woman being murdered. It sounds so realistic that you don't hesitate to call the cops to find out that nobody lives in the apartment where you heard the screams come from. What's mostly concerning is that this isn't the first time she has experienced something paranormal. It is something that she is used to seeing. So for her to genuinely get freaked out means that this is more than just sinister. For further insight, listen to what she had to say the night everything occurred.
So I was just sitting in my living room making TikToks to procrastinate unpacking, and then I just had to call the cops. The people who live in the apartment above me just moved out, but I noticed today that the lights have been on and the door to their downstairs stairwell that goes upstairs was open. And there were people up there, so I just assumed somebody was moving in. But then I heard a woman screaming no over and over, and then a super loud thud that shook the whole ceiling, and then no more screaming, and there's still footsteps and dragging sounds coming from upstairs. So I called the police, apparently somebody else called the police, and there are people just standing outside staring at what feels like my apartment, but is actually the apartment upstairs. Did I just hear someone get murdered? I guess I'll keep you guys updated.
Not only did she hear screams, but someone else in the building did as well, which in a way should be kind of relieving, because if others heard it, then that means that maybe the whole building is just haunted. But, if the Ebola Queen was the only one who heard the screams, then that would mean she is the one being haunted. This is where things get worse. The cops arrive and give her a response that she was not expecting whatsoever.
I heard somebody screaming bloody murder upstairs, like they were being fucking murdered, not 2 minutes before the cops roll up. I'm watching out the window. I can see the street and the door where they would have to leave. And there's nobody in the apartment? I don't know how that's fucking possible. They said they did a full sweep and there's nobody up there. I heard people up there as the cops were rolling up. I'm fucking shaking. First of all, I'm livid that it took them 40 minutes to get here. I listened to a woman scream above me for 20 minutes. And there's no one there? I don't understand. Did I hear a ghost get murdered?
This is mind-baffling. I would completely be in shock if something like this happened to me. Like, I wouldn't be able to wrap my mind around it. The cops claim nobody was in there when not only her but others as well heard screaming coming from in the apartment room. I don't know why this reminds me of that one video of the security entering a room where it was reported screaming was coming from, but when he went in there, nothing was there.
It's room 209. Amy says nobody's checked into that room, and there's reports of screaming coming from that room. What's going on, John? There's no one checked into that room. There should be nobody in there. Amy, John's gonna enter the room real quick just to check, make sure, see what's going on. Wait one. John? John, are you there? Okay, Amy, John wants you to call the police right now if you don't mind. He says no one's in there, but that all of the furniture's been turned upside down and the hold on.
I think most of you have seen this, and if not, well, I don't know why, it just reminded me of this for some reason. But you know what, never mind that, let's get back into business. So of course, there was that one skeptical person, so she decided to post the video of the actual screaming. So I'm gonna need you guys to pay close attention because it may be a little difficult to hear.
Give me the fucking first place. I'm not the type of person who just stands by and does nothing. It is not in my nature to sit here and do nothing.
See, now that is a tough situation to be in. The screams, they were kind of clear. You were able to hear them if you had the volume up, and you could see that she feels horrible because she's just standing there and not doing anything. And I don't know, I 100% understand her. Like, what do you do in a situation like this? Of course you call the cops, like that's like a no-brainer. But man, I don't know why it would eat me alive just standing there and not going up there to go help or see if they need help. But then again, it's dangerous. Those screams literally sound like someone is getting murdered, or yeah, like they're getting murdered or something's like really bad is happening to them. So it's tough because if I was in that situation, I would want someone to help me, but at the same time I would understand why they aren't going up there to my rescue. I don't know, I'm curious, how do you guys feel about this situation? It's like very controversial. Like some people are like, oh, like you have to go help, and then some people are like, no, like what do you want me to do? Like there's not a lot I could do, it's just gonna get us both killed. I don't know, so let me know, what would you guys do? Would you help or call the cops and just hope they make it in time? Even still, with the proof of the screams, people were still doubtful towards this whole situation, so she even went further in proving that she wasn't doing this for the views.
I didn't hear them leave, and those stairs are super loud.
There's no in there.
I don't know how that's possible. I've been sitting here watching.
Yeah, you can check the whole place. Could you maybe have heard and it traveled, the sound traveled from somewhere else?
It's possible, but it sounded like it was right above my ceiling.
I wonder, so this, all that is what we just looked at, right? Because we went in that direction. So boom, check this out. Yeah. It's secure now.
Because this has been open all day, and nobody's supposed to be living up there.
It smells like someone exists.
She was definitely talking to the cops, and just by the conversation, it is obvious the cops did not find anything up there. So at this point, she was probably so confused. Us not really, because we know the background story. But if we didn't and like we were living that in that moment, I'm pretty sure we would be tripping the fuck out. I know I would be. I would be like, what the hell are you guys talking about? I heard them screams. And to make matters worse, another horrific incident takes place.
I didn't think I'd have an update for you guys this soon, but something happened. You might want to pause to read this. I might live in a bad neighborhood. Oh, another woman was killed in my apartment. And that letter explains that the incident started off the property and ended on the property. And there's a crime scene sticker on the door of the apartment right across the street from me. And I was really afraid at first that the banging that I heard was actually her being attacked and I didn't help. But the good news, awful news, weird news is that I was working at the speakeasy that night. I wasn't home. I heard the woman banging on my door the next day. Night. The stereotypical haunting stuff has been amping up too. My cat's water fountain keeps getting knocked over while both the cats are with me on the bed. And then you can hear the motor start to whine. And my cats used to slam the cupboard doors, so I put child locks on them. And then I'll hear that in the mornings and sometimes in the middle of the night when both cats are with me, which shouldn't be possible because there are child locks. The leak coming from the walls started again, and my cats keep hissing at the ceiling, and sometimes at the front door, but no one's ever there. So that's all fun. My boyfriend is now scared that I'm gonna get shot. I think it says something about me that I'm more worried about the water damage. I don't want to extrapolate too much. It's so hard to talk with fangs in. I'm about to go work at the vampire speakeasy. I don't want to jump to conclusions because I have no idea how any of this stuff works. I'm not an expert. I'm just experienced. So I don't really know what to do next. Call the maintenance guy, I guess, see if they can fix the mysterious leak again, which the last time it just stopped. Guess I'm gonna go to work now.
I'm not gonna read the letter just because she basically explained it in the video. You could see that the place where she lives in isn't so safe. It seems like accidents like these are frequent. So, I don't know, this would explain all the paranormal activity occurring. But the knocking on the front door is what captures my attention the most because what could it mean? We know that the screams heard were from a person who was murdered there. They obviously can't rest in peace due to the fact her murderer hasn't been caught. So could it be that she's just trying to get into contact with the Ebola Queen?
I'm banned from posting videos on TikTok because people keep reporting me for nothing, and even though all my content is getting restored, I'm banned anyway. But spooky shit is happening, so I thought I'd film this anyway. Last night the water fountain got tipped over again, all the water was just gone. And my cats are freaking out today. My black cat has been walking around the house all day like he's expecting somebody to jump out at him. And he's had to like look underneath everything and behind everything, and he's super freaked out. And somewhere in an adjacent building there is a dog that will not stop fucking barking. And I never ever hear this dog until like spooky shit starts to happen. Both my boys are just super clingy and freaked out. So I'll just keep this in my drafts, and if I can capture something on film, I'll let you know. There's the dog again. I don't know if you can even hear it. It's midnight and someone is knocking on my front door. I'm not answering that. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to hear this. I know, honey. sounded like crying this time. It's not consistent though. I don't think I'm gonna capture it. I just want to finish terraforming my island.
The activity continues, and it's becoming persistent. It is not every once in a while like before. Either the lady is trying to communicate with her, or she could be haunted herself, since she did say that this isn't her first time dealing with the paranormal. Maybe all this has opened up her past hauntings. She recorded herself when the door was being knocked on. I was only able to hear it once, and slightly. It was barely even audible. This story has gained lots of traction, and for that very same reason, she had a message for all of us, because this began to get out of control.
There are a ton of new people here, and that's awesome, but we need to talk. First of all, thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me. I love that you're here. The most important thing I want to say is that I took down the video that had the article about the woman who died in my apartment complex. I know you guys want to help, but that's a real family who is genuinely suffering, and there were people in the comments linking the mom's Facebook page. We're not here to dox people. At the end of the day, I have no idea if that event was related to what I'm experiencing now. I posted it because I thought it could be relevant and I thought it might be an interesting piece of this puzzle. But I would rather delete my account than cause that family any pain. Thing number 2, I don't care if you believe me or not. I'm sharing these stories because when I talk about the things that happened to me, it's cathartic. It helps me process, it makes me feel better. And I do love sharing my stories. I love the reaction and the support that I get. It turns something scary into something fun. If you don't believe in this kind of thing, that's totally chill. I'm not a missionary. I'm not here to proselytize. Believe what you want, babe. If you're a dick about it, I'll block you. If you want to have a conversation about different belief systems and science versus religion and spirituality and anything like that, I'm super heckin' down. But it's gonna be a respectful conversation. Thing number 3, I did post the videos. They were posted on April 26th. There's a handful of them, maybe around 10. I didn't think it was supernatural until the police told me there was no one there. So the first couple videos are not meant to be ghost stories. I was documenting the footage for evidence in case he killed her. I was live streaming to my best friend thinking that if they left the front door, I could get their face on camera to give to the police. When I heard everything happen for the second time, I didn't think about filming it because I was kind of in shock at first. And then once I realized that I was hearing the exact repeat of what had happened before and that this was most likely a supernatural situation, I got more comfortable with it. That's normal to me. That's something that I understand. So I generally don't try and film and document and capture those things because that's a pretty normal part of my life. And I don't feel the need to prove that to anyone. The third time with the woman banging on the door, I didn't film it because I was in the middle of a ranked League of Legends game and I have priorities. But I will try and be more vigilant now that there's a ton of you here. I'll try and document everything I can. You guys were also asking what I meant about getting rid of a demon for the second time. The story of the first time is linked in my bio. My friends on the Scream Kings podcast invited me on to tell the story. It's pretty fucked up. I'd like to reiterate again, you don't have to believe me. That's totally chill. I may have been Mormon, but my days of pushing my beliefs onto other people are behind me. If you guys have specific questions you want me to answer, please use the Q&A feature. It'll make it a lot easier for me to see. And welcome. Thanks for the follow, guys.
She posted the article. So if you were able to read the actual story, they were lucky, but damn, I don't know. People need to learn how to respect. Like, how are they going to start linking the mother's Facebook? All this most likely opened up healed wounds, and like it just brought back so many memories, horrible memories about the whole situation. I don't know, man. People just be insensitive at times. I find it crazy to think that she only filmed the screams because she wanted to have evidence, because she genuinely thought someone was being harmed, but it ended up being something completely different. I don't know, it's kind of nice seeing that she isn't letting this, take over her life, because imagine being stuck in trying to capture every little paranormal thing that is going on. I feel like it just would consume so much of her time. I'm glad that she is able to cope with it in a healthy manner, because if this was me, I'd be freaking out. I would need a roommate in order to be able to live there. Guys, this is the end of the video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed and want me to make an update if there is any. Also, don't forget to subscribe with post notifications so you are notified when I update your favorite stories. I don't know what. I'm glad to be back. You guys don't know, but I haven't like filmed or even thought of making a video in like 2 weeks. So now that I'm getting back into it, it feels nice. So guys, I will see you guys in the next video.